You are listening to the Coach's Corner Show on KYNT, Yankton's home team. Now, let's get you caught up on Yankton High School athletics with SDBA and NSMA Sportscaster of the Year award winner and the voice of Yankton Bucks and Gazelles athletics, KYNT Sports Director, Bryce Ladwig.
Good morning. This is the Coach's Corner Show. I'm Bryce Ladwig. Thanks for joining us here from 1019 Broadway Avenue in Yankton. The Coach's Corner Show, powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. Coaches, today join us on the Pizza Ranch phone line for legendary chicken and the best pizza. It's Yankton Pizza Ranch. It's on Broadway, or you can call 665-1222. We're going to talk to Coach Jeff Gross this morning, as well as Coach Jill Muth of Yankton Track and Field and Yankton Softball, respectively, Coach Drew Lawrence of Yankton Bucks Baseball, and Coach Ryan Haig of Yankton Bucks Tennis. A full show here this morning on the Coach's Corner. When we come back, we'll try to reach out to Coach Jeff Gross of Yankton Track and Field right here on the Coach's Corner. Good morning.
My name is Rachel Lindholm, and I'm a sophomore at Mount Marty. Mostly, Mount Marty is it's like home to me. The community is awesome. No matter who you're talking to, whether in dining services or the residence life team, everyone loves talking to everyone else, and everyone's super interested in getting to know you, and everyone loves making you feel like you are home.
Start your journey at Mount Marty University. Schedule a tour online at mountmarty.edu.
Isn't it great when things work how they should? Like the award-winning free checking from FNBO. No monthly fees, no minimums, and no overdraft fees ever. Online, in the app, on the go, or down the street. You be you, and we'll make it easy to bank your way and manage your account. Here's to simple, flexible, and free. Here's to checking that works the way you want it to. Visit fnbo.com to learn more or stop on by. FNBO Free Checking. Member FDIC.
It's time to stop making excuses. The peace of mind you get after a colonoscopy is worth it. It's the best way to prevent and detect one of the deadliest cancers. In fact, your doctor can remove precancerous polyps during the procedure if necessary. That's right, before it even turns to cancer. No buts about it. Get a colonoscopy at 45 and follow up every 10 years or as recommended by your doctor. Find a location or schedule now at avera.org/colon.
Imagine paid vacation, sick leave, holidays, and full medical coverage the moment you start a new job. Plus quarterly profit sharing, 5% 401k match, and a company-paid retirement plan. Your first day on the job. With Parker of Yankton, you don't have to imagine, because all these benefits begin day one. We are hiring assemblers, material handlers, and line operation techs for both shifts. Don't mind working nights? Enjoy a pay differential of $235. If you're looking to upgrade your career and have day one benefits, apply today at parker.com.
Parker, engineering your success.
All right, welcome back into the Coach's Corner. Let's start talking Yankton Track and Field. Coach Jeff Gross. Coach, thanks for joining us here on the Pizza Ranch phone line.
You bet. Excited.
Hey, I bet the season for track and field, it's already been started, but the weather's starting to get a little bit nicer every week, right? Are you starting to get ready for the outdoor season?
You know, I'm going to knock on wood here, but yeah, we've of course got our first home event, outdoor event on Tuesday, April 8th, and looks like it's supposed to be kind of chilly and maybe even some possibilities of snow over the weekend and a little chilly on Monday. But Tuesday, it looks like things are going to start turning around and improve throughout the week, even as much as 80 degrees by next weekend. So we've got, looking ahead that far, we've actually got a meet next Saturday up in Brandon. So really excited about that too. But yeah, it looks like the weather's taking a turn for the better. And we're getting some rain too, so that's nice to have this time of year too.
This time of the year, the weather can't decide what it wants to be. Cold, hot, it doesn't know, but I'm looking forward to the outdoor season for sure. Yankton just recently nabbed several top 5 finishes. That was at the Mount Marty meet on the 28th on the Friday. And during that, a new meet record in the boys 1600 relay. It's a big deal. They've been hitting some records.
Yep, we've had a nice spring here on both the girls and the boys side with some we don't really have an official indoor record as far as posting it on the wall or anything, but we keep track of that internally. And we've had quite a few exciting things going on there. And you mentioned the boys mile relay, 4x4. Those 4 guys, it's fantastic seeing them run that. And we've got about another 2 or 3 guys that we think we could put in the mix there too. And that's when you start to develop some depth. And the 400 meters and the 800 meters, if you've got 10 guys that can run, or 10 girls that can run those events, it just gives you a lot of depth both in the sprints and in the distance. So it was cool to see that. That was run by Connor Slava, Carson Ness, Evan Sirk, and Abel Bryan that day ran that. And, running that fast this early in the season was nice to see. We felt pretty good for about 24 hours on that, because the next day up in Brookings on a 300-meter track, and Mount Marty, of course, is a 200-meter track, and the smaller the circumference of the track gets, kind of the tougher it is to sprint on. Mm-hmm. But Sioux Falls Lincoln ran a 3:23 up there, which is was best for about the 80th best time in the country this year so far. So we felt good for about 24 hours, and then we went, wow, we got a lot of work to do yet to catch Lincoln. So, but it's nice to do what they did on last Friday.
That's about a 9-second difference. 3:32.67 was the Yankton boys. But you said the shorter track, or the longer track, makes the time a little easier to achieve, you think?
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. Just like, we'd probably, I would say our guys outside, for instance, on a 400-meter track, it usually takes you maybe a second slower on an indoor track, just because you're spending so much energy turning that you don't have as much energy to expend going forward. I mean, it's just the physics of it works out that way. You wouldn't think it would be that big of a deal, but it is a big deal.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Connor Slava also took third in the 60-meter dash. Big day for him.
Yep. And he actually tied his school record in the 60 of 7:08, and also ran against the same guys that he ran against down at Dan Lennon the week prior. And he beat one of those guys that he had been beaten by previously. Harrisburg just has a really strong stable of short sprinters right now this year. They're going to be really exciting as a fan to watch Harrisburg and Sioux Falls Lincoln in those sprint relays, because they went 1, 2, 3 at Dan Lennon, and Connor was able to beat one of those guys at our home meet here at Mount Marty. So I know that's a confidence boost for him, but it also just shows that he's right in the mix with any sprinter here in the state. So that's exciting.
Ness finished 4th in the 400, and then I'll add another one on here for you. So Kayla Hazelhorse finished 4th, and Miles Drotzman finished 5th. They both finished top 5 in the 60-meter hurdles. Yep,
and they were both thinking of the hurdlers, Miles and Kale. The only people that beat them were from out of state. So both of our boys hurdlers there that you mentioned, I'm just very excited to see how they progress throughout the season. Kale, in particular, just has put in a ton of time, ton of work on hurdles over the years. Was set up to get a nice placing at the state meet last year, and then we just kind of banged the 8th hurdle in the prelims and slowed us down, and we didn't get into the finals. But I know Kale is set up and ready to go. He's putting in a lot of work in track, and then he's also done some acceleration type programs over the course of the year that he's put a lot of time and thought into this. Sometimes maybe a little bit too much thought at times. Hopefully he doesn't put too much pressure on himself, but he's continuing to mature as a young man, and he'll handle that and do a great job. And then Miles as well, just a very good hurdler. I'm not going to go into the specifics of my expectations and goals for those guys, but it's kind of cool what those guys could accomplish this year, and I'm excited to see that.
And then finishing off the Bucks, at least for what I have in front of me, add whatever you would like, obviously. But Sirk, Ness, Hazelhorst, and Alex Swihart took 3rd in the 800-meter relay.
Yep, and they backed up a nice time there, similar grouping there that we ran at Dan Lennon, and it was good to see. So very excited about, our boys across the board, all everything from the sprints and the hurdles that you've mentioned. Our shot putters had a really nice day there. We had many PRs on the shot put side, having guys that are cracked that 40-foot barrier for the first time in their career. And Derek Beal is one of those, and Austin Conway, and Drace Gaskins is right behind, just underneath that 40-foot mark. So once you start cracking 40 and getting up to 45, all of a sudden you're looking at possibilities of placing at the ESD meet and qualifying for the state meet. So I'm excited to see what those guys can do throughout the year.
And then we'll turn to the Gazelles. 8th grader Rosalind Adamson finished second in the 60-meter dash, and then she was followed by Berkeley Olson right away in third.
Probably one of the most exciting things that I've seen all year was Berkeley beat Rosalind in the prelims, and that's exciting when you've got two runners the caliber of those two that can kind of leapfrog each other and beat each other. The only thing that would be better than that is if we had 3 runners that were in the mix there. So I'm excited about what our sprint relays on the girls' side are going to be able to do throughout the year. They've placed highly both at Dan Lennon and at the MMU meet, and broken a school record there a couple times. And we've run different lineups both times with different personnel. And that, again, just signifies the depth that we have there. And we've got other girls on the sideline of that can also fit in there very nicely. So it's going to be exciting to watch that continue to develop. I know Coach Heidi Savvy, who kind of spearheads our sprint program and our sprint relays specifically, I know that she's excited with all the different puzzle pieces that we have appearing there. So good stuff.
Well, then those two took second 800 relay along with Tyan Bestie and Olivia Dimmer. Tyan Bestie also finished 4th in the 60-meter hurdles. Last time I saw Tyan, my 4-year-old Kirby, as you know her, goes up to her and says, "My dad says you're fast." And she's like, yeah, you know, like, she didn't really know what to say, right? And this Kirby goes, "Watch how fast I am," and just goes ahead to sprint down the hallway and back. It was, you may have a future track star.
Yes. Well, the other thing, I'm not talking about your daughter here, but the other thing with Tyan is she's very humble, as it appears your daughter is not yet. So
she didn't get that gene.
No, but excited to see Tyan continue to develop over the years here as both a sprinter and a hurdler. She's, got a nice start here to her career. Brought her up very late in the season last year as a 7th grader. She's doing a great job already. And I'm going to say the same thing about Rosalind in this. Very young, very, doing a fantastic job. But the thing that's incredible is how much they can continue to improve. And, same thing goes for all of our kids. They're willing to be coached. They're willing to put the work in. We've had some incredibly intense workouts, and our kids are willing to pay the prices there. So that makes it even that much more exciting as a coach.
And then Olivia Dimmer took 5th in the 1600 relay alongside Aviana Seiler, Remy Kusel, and September Rao. Yes, and those girls, and we've got other girls in the mix there again, just kind of show that depth that we have. And the mile relay, the 2-mile relay, those are kind of events that are the barometer of your track program anyway. If you, like I'd said earlier, if you can put, 8, 10, 12 folks in those events, you've got a good solid nucleus to build around. And then finally, Quinn Brinkman finished 3rd in the triple jump for the Gazelles. Yep. And Quinn's a stalwart there in the triple jump, also the high jump and the long jump. Thing that's kind of funny with Quinn, it seems like, one day she excels in the high jump, next time she excels in the triple jump, the next time she excels in the long jump. It'll be just nice when she's able to hit all of those. And obviously she's trying to hit them all every time, but when she gets into the rhythm where she's able to, have PRs in all 3 of those events on the same day, that's when those days of a jumper of her caliber and her skill set, it's fun to follow those types of individuals and just see them absolutely explode. And then the outdoor season was here, Coach. Tuesday, 3:45, Triangular in Yankton, Sioux City East, and I want to say Washington, right? Sioux Falls, Washington. Yep. In Sioux Falls, Washington. Yep. And so the outdoor season will be there. Hopefully the weather, like you said earlier when we first started talking, is pretty decent for that. But hey, if it's really cold, they'll just make the runners want to get warmer faster, right? So there you go.
Yes.
But yeah, tell me a little bit about that meet. What you're looking forward to.
Got the dismissal list in front of me as we speak here. We've got 85 boys competing and 42 girls competing that day. So we've got, when we put the entries in last night, we had about 350 different individual entries and relay entries. So gets to be a hectic, time trying to herd cats there and chase the ants all over the place. But I just have to thank my coaching staff for, their work on getting entries in and trying to get kids as many different possible events without overworking anybody this early in the season as possible. We're just excited to get out and kind of, I used the word barometer earlier, but trying to get a good look at everybody and see where we're at. And these early meets are just a good barometer of that. So we're excited to compete against two very large schools, being in East and Washington. There'll be a lot of black and orange on the track on Tuesday. Both those schools have black and orange as their predominant colors, and both of them also have very strong track traditions and very good coaches. So it's going to be fun to match wits with them a little bit.
Well, looking forward to it, Coach, and best of luck to the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles as the outdoor season begins for the first time this year. So always appreciate you joining us.
You bet. Thank you, Bryce.
Coach Jeff Gross, Yankton Track and Field. We'll go ahead and take a break, come back, and continue right here on the Coach's Corner.
Do you have a pest problem? Bed bugs, bats in the attic, termite damage, earwigs? Olson's Pest Technicians can tackle any of your pest problems. Family owned and operated with over 80 years of pest experience in South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa. Proven pest methods include Centricon bait stations for termites and bicane treatments for bed bugs. Even the toughest pest infestations don't stand a chance. Olson's Pest Technicians, putting pests to rest since 1966. Call 800-KIL-BUGS.
You've been suffering from chronic pain or a recent injury.
Check us out, Lane, Reed, and Cole Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of treatments and techniques, including dry needling, cupping, chiropractic adjustments, and sports rehabilitation.
Our mission is to ensure an individualized and efficient treatment plan to get you back on your feet.
From ankle sprains and sports injuries to neck pain and headaches, we've got your back.
Give us a call or book an appointment on our website. SWAT Chiropractic, specialized wellness and therapy.
When you make the right decision, it feels good. Like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Rhonda Westland is right here in Yankton to help you select the right protection at the right price. Rhonda will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. With State Farm agent Rhonda Westland, it's easy to make the right choice. Just call her. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care. Whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
All right, let's start talking Yankton Bucks tennis. Joining us on the Pete's Ranch phone line, Coach Ryan Haig. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yankton, we'll just get right into it, if you don't mind. Yankton Bucks tennis swept their home opener Tuesday. They defeated Vermilion and Sioux City Heelan. But that did have to get moved to the Easton Yankton Archery Center due to weather. I think by the time that we reach the spring, Coach, half of all your home stuff is, you can always just assume, is going to be at the Archery Center. And every year we talk about how just lucky Yankton is to have that facility.
Yeah, You're exactly right. Mother Nature isn't exactly the kindest to any of the spring sports. We're very fortunate to be able to have the opportunity to go indoors the majority of the time, should Mother Nature kind of slap us in the face a little bit, which she did. And so we were able to move it indoors. I think we've hosted this event every year for the past many years, and I don't think we've had that particular event outside for probably at least 5 years. As a matter of fact, last year, school was canceled on that date, and we couldn't even host it at all because we didn't have school. So a little bit nicer weather than that from a year ago, but still not quite nice enough to be outdoors. And, the Bucks came away with a couple nice wins.
Yeah, swept both duels, going 18-0 on the day. I'll just kind of let you move down. Obviously, you're probably not going to go over every match. Maybe if you want to, you can. But just kind of the performance from the Bucks, obviously pretty good.
Yeah, Sioux City Heelan came in, to start the day off. We don't really know exactly what those guys are going to bring each and every time they travel to town. They've been a little bit of a less experienced team in the years past, but, obviously meaning less experience in previous years means if, they continue to grow and continue to improve, they continue to get older, similar to, like us. So, during warmups, as I was watching the Heelan team, they had some pretty talented individuals at the top of their lineup. They were able to, they were really stroking the ball nicely during warmups, and it was very apparent that they were a very much improved team. And our guys saw that as well. But we went out and we took care of business where we needed to. We started off the day with doubles, and we are a very strong doubles team anymore. And started right off at number one doubles. Sioux City Heelan's number one doubles team was very impressive. They really kind of pushed our number one doubles team of Zach Briggs and Harrison Kratzky. But, Zach and Harrison are just playing phenomenally right now. Their mobility around the court, and they're just, I guess their ability to work together as a team and communicate with one another is just, top notch right now. And we came away with a nice win at one doubles. And I think that kind of helped feed the rest of the team. Our two doubles team, we did have a substitute in there. Luke Moeller is out with the national hockey team right now, so he was out of the lineup, but we were able to fill with another senior, Parker Riley. And so Parker Riley jumped right in with Chris Frockney. And that number two doubles team, kind of fed off the energy that the number ones put on the court, and did a heck of a nice job. And number twos came away with a nice win. And our number three doubles with Ethan Marsh, pairing up this year with Patrick Kralichek. Ethan just brings in just a ton of knowledge from a year ago that was provided to him through Miles Kratzky, and he's kind of leading that team right now. And Patrick's doing a heck of a nice job, kind of being a sponge and absorbing the experience and absorbing the information that Ethan is providing for him. So that team came away with a W as well. So we swept our doubles, and we're feeling pretty good heading into our singles. And again, at the top of Sioux City Heelan's lineup, very, very talented, but ultimately Yankton was just a little bit too deep of a team for Heelan that particular day, and we were able to walk away with a 9-0 victory with Sioux City Heelan. Then we mentioned we played Vermilion at the end of the day. Vermilion's a younger team, a little bit less experienced. They did their best. They play hard. They're definitely an improved team. You can tell that this has been the same team that coach has put on the court for the past several years for Vermilion. They started off very, very, very young, and now they've kind of progressed through the years, and they are a very much improved team, but just a little bit outclassed on our own home courts for that particular day. And fortunate enough for the Bucks, we were able to walk away with another 9-0 victory on Monday night. So as you mentioned, 18-0 on the day. We felt pretty good about that, but we have a lot of schedule left in front of us, that's for sure.
Well, your next competition was supposed to be on Friday, hosting Mitchell and Brandon Valley. That has been moved to Monday, so you get the weekend now, and then I'll focus up on Monday. And I think that's supposed to be at the tennis courts, correct? Like the actual high school tennis courts?
Yep. Every one of our meets is originally scheduled to be outdoors at the high school courts, and we just leave open the option to move indoors. The indoor facility was not available to us on Friday, and with the potential for bad weather, cold and potentially wet weather on Friday, we just decided to postpone that to Monday. So we'll play Mitchell and Brandon on Monday. And we'll follow that up with a big match on Tuesday with Sioux Falls Roosevelt and potentially again Brandon Valley 2 days in a row. And then we'll finish up the week on Friday at Sioux Falls Jefferson with Sioux Falls Jefferson and Millbank. So busy week of tennis next week for the Bucks, no doubt about it.
Well, best of luck to you and the Yankton Bucks as I see some ESD competition coming your way. It should be really interesting. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Coach Ryan Haig, Yankton Bucks Tennis. We'll take a break, come back, and continue right here on the Coach's Corner.
Unlock the power of your home's equity with a home equity loan from Explorers Credit Union. With qualifying rates as low as 3.99% APR and 0 application fees, you'll have the flexibility to fund your next big move, whether it's building your dream kitchen or knocking down high-interest debt. But hurry, this limited-time offer is available February 1st through April 30th. Stop into Explorers Credit Union today or visit explorerscu.com to learn more. Membership eligibility required. Offer subject to change at any time. Terms and conditions apply. NCUA insured.
Have a graduating senior in May? Well, it'll be here before you know it. Set up your rooms now for out-of-town guests at the Fairfield by Marriott or Holiday Inn Express in Yankton. The Fairfield offers a comfortable, relaxing stay in modern rooms and ask about their gathering room for graduation parties. The Holiday Inn Express features large family rooms, hot breakfast, and free happy hour. Get a great rate and flexible reservation changes by calling the Fairfield or Holiday Inn Express in Yankton direct.
That's you trying to fix the plumbing yourself to save a few bucks. Doing things yourself doesn't always end well. The same goes for insurance. That's why Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and offer discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance. Because sometimes you need a professional to get the job done right. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT and RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. Visit mtrcsmithinsurance.com. Looking for fuel or more? Stop by Triple Time Rudy's, your locally owned convenience store at 17th and Broadway. At Triple Time Rudy's, they're proud to support the community, offering fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers and backing local activities and events. Inside, you'll discover regional favorites like Dimmick Cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. Whether it's a quick snack, a tank of top-quality fuel, or a taste of local goodness, Triple Time Rudy's, fueling your day, fueling the community.
All right, welcome back into the Coach's Corner. Let's start talking Yankton Gazelles softball. Joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line, Coach Jill Muth. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Bryce.
One game in the books. Softball season is off and running. Monday, the Gazelles open their season at Sertoma Park. A tough loss to Brookings, 16-0. But Brookings seems to be a pretty good squad, and I think they're expecting some big things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they've got a lot of good players, good returners. Their coach does a nice job with them, so they're looking for a good season. So we knew they were going to be a tough opponent, and we did some good things and some not so great things for our first game. But we're real young. I told the girls, I said, if you took our varsity lineup last year, and even though we have some girls returning, not one of them played in the same spot on Monday night that they played last year.
And then Madison Gerard struck out 4 over 2 2/3 innings. And do you like what you're seeing from her as far as pitching from practices also included in that?
Yeah, we're just wanting her to try to throw strikes, and that's what we're working on, and try to limit the walks, try to limit the girls on base as much as we can, because, in softball, a game's real fast. And so, when balls hit, and you never know where it's going to go. But if we can limit the number of people on base due to walks, that's what we're hoping that she can do.
The game in Watertown that was supposed to be on Thursday has been postponed to, do we have a date on that?
I believe they have moved it to that weekend, that first weekend in May when we have that Sioux Falls tournament. I believe that is when we're going to make that game up.
All right, so in May, and I'll get the official confirmation on that later. I'll look at it, but
I don't think we have an official day set till we get closer, a day and time, but it'll either be like May 2nd and 3rd, one of those two.
And Mother Nature already playing games with you, Coach.
Well, that's how it goes in the spring, right?
Every sport gets affected, that's for sure.
Yep.
You had a couple of hits in the loss. Ava Gerard and Isabel Sheldon each recorded a hit, and let's kind of talk about their at-bats.
Yeah, I would say they both had nice hits for us. And, Jocelyn Burns had a couple balls that she hit hard. We were, I think offensively, we had some good at bats, for considering we had 5 girls that had hardly had any varsity at bats at all, in our lineup. So, we were pretty young coming in, and I think most of our girls had pretty good at bats. I think we only ended up in the 3 innings having 1 strikeout. So, we'll take that. Now we're hoping that we can find some balls to get them to drop in and get some hits, and maybe hopefully, look at scoring some runs.
April 7th, obviously Monday, Aberdeen Central, excuse me, that's at Sertoma Park as well. Kind of give me what you know about Aberdeen, or kind of what you're expecting going into that matchup.
We just kind of, especially this early in the year, are going to focus on us more than, anybody else. We're going to go out and like I said, we're going to try to throw strikes, and we're going to try to, be a little bit better on the defensive side of the ball than we were the other night against Brookings, and just continue to try to have good at bats, not swing at bad pitches and not be swinging when, we're 3-0 or things like that. So just going to kind of focus on the Gazelles and the things that we can do and try to, keep getting better that way.
Coach, always appreciate the time. Best of luck to the Gazelles on Monday. We'll be keeping an eye on it, and always appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Bryce. We appreciate your coverage and all you do for Yankton High School Athletics.
That's Coach Jill Muth, Yankton Gazelles softball. We'll take a break, come back, and continue right here on the Coach's Corner.
Moving is hard work. This is Deb Speck from Vision Real Estate, and I'd like to show you how I can make moving a little easier. From staging your home, providing moving boxes, and the use of our enclosed courtesy trailer, to the behind-the-scenes marketing, attention to detail, you can rest easy knowing you have an experienced professional working for you. Call me, Deb Speck, at 605-664-5555.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Recently, a restaurant owner stopped by the UPS store to print new menus for his updated specials. As we were preparing his order, he asked if we could also print table tents for promoting his seasonal drinks. You bet. Hi, this is Doug with the UPS store of Yankton. We've been helping restaurants and businesses with their printing for over 8 years. Whether it's menus, table tents, or promotional materials, we're here to help your business shine. Come see us today and ask about our shipping services or current print specials. Recently, a restaurant owner stopped by the UPS store to print new menus for his updated specials. As we were preparing his order, he asked if we could also print table tents for promoting his seasonal drinks. You bet. Hi, this is Doug with the UPS store of Yankton. We've been helping restaurants and businesses with their printing for over 8 years. Whether it's menus, table tents, or promotional materials, we're here to help your business shine. Come see us today and ask about our shipping services or current print specials.
All right, welcome back into the Coach's Corner, and this week we're talking Yankton Bucks baseball. Head coach Drew Lawrence joins us on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Coach, how are we doing?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Enjoying the weather as a little colder there, but still thawing out and getting us really into that prime time baseball weather. This has been a pretty good year for that, though. I remember a couple years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, that basically we weren't having any home games until like June. So I'm lucky the weather's been really nice.
Yeah, we'll take this weather every year. Next week's supposed to be really nice, and I think that's going to be the turn in the calendar as far as coldness, hopefully. But yeah, we're fortunate to have a good spring so far that we've been able to be outside and play some home games.
Well, there's been some schedule changes as last time that I had you on the show, or in the post game, I think it was, you were going out to West River for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or for the weekend, I should say. And that has changed, and now you're hosting Brookings, and you made it to Saturday, and then it got changed to Sunday. So as of right now, Brookings Sunday, doubleheader at Riverside Field, right?
That's correct. Yeah, the West trip was just going to be a little too cold out there for comfort as far as going out there and paying for hotel rooms and staying the night. Friday, the feels like temperature was in the 20s, so we thought that was probably not a good idea to do that. And Brookings was also traveling out there, so it just worked out to where we want to play and they want to play. So we scheduled it for Saturday originally, and then looks like Sunday is going to be about 10 degrees, 11 degrees warmer. So we just jumped it up to Sunday, and there should be no more changes as far as that goes. The weather looks good.
Yeah, Brookings always a nice rivalry, and you'll have back-to-back with them. Obviously, I think just Sioux Falls Jefferson in between, right, at Riverside Field. So you'll have Brookings, and then, am I right about that? Is it Jefferson at home next week?
Yep. So, yeah, we'll have Brookings Sunday and then Jefferson home on Tuesday, and then we'll go to Brookings the following Saturday. So it'll be good. It's kind of good to play someone that quick. It's going to end up probably being the same pitchers on each side throwing against each other, which isn't ideal. But at this point, Brookings and Yankton and anybody in the state, is if we can play as early as we can, we don't really care who we're playing against. So it works out really well for everybody.
Excellent. Well, you're 3 games in, 3-0. There's been some interesting walk-offs and things of that nature. But overall, do you like the experience of the boys have gotten, obviously, with these Class B teams, a way to kind of open up the season, get them loose, and now you're going to be starting your Class A schedule?
Yeah, it's worked out. As perfect as it can be. We were able to win the games, but we were able to get at bats and we were able to get innings pitched for pitchers. But above all that, we were able to get through these games, get experience, get ready for the A schedule without any injuries. So you want to make sure that you're healthy through all that. So all of it was a win-win for everybody involved. We got to play Lennox, who was a really good team, who's going to do a lot of good things in Class B. So also got us ready for the A schedule. So it worked out really well, and hopefully we can do that in future years as well.
You mentioned the pitching, and obviously you want to get guys as many reps as possible. Obviously, the formula that you have in place, but has that been the case so far? Obviously with cancellations, that kind of throws a wrench in your plans, right?
It did throw a wrench a little bit. We were still going to spread out this weekend, even though they were A games out west. We were going to spread out the amount of pitches so they were going to be limited. So there was going to be a lot of innings to be had by people. So we just kind of had to adjust a little bit. It worked out, I guess, as far as, we all have 2 games on Sunday, so we'll be more fresh for our Tuesday games against Jefferson, which is always good. But we're just kind of keeping an eye on all the innings and making sure that we have the guys that we think are going to be there at the end throwing for us to make sure they log their innings and have rest time and everyone's healthy.
Who are all your, maybe I'm putting you on the spot, sorry, but your track athletes, your dual athletes? I know Cirque, and I know there's others, and for some reason I can't think of them. But how has their practice been handled between track and baseball?
So we have Evan Cirque is a track runner, so he's missed here and there, and then Trey Sager throws the javelin.
That's right.
Other than that, at the varsity level, we don't really have. That's it. When you get down in the freshman teams, there's more, but at the varsity level, those are the only 2 we have. So we practice usually at 5:30, so that we allow track athletes to be able to do both if they want to. Like Cirque and Sager haven't really missed very much. They've missed some practices here or there. Cirque was gone the first game on Friday because he was running at the indoor track meet. It's kind of it can be a pain at sometimes as far as the scheduling goes, but it's really cool that, Cirque was able to go and run indoor at the relay at the last event. And then he drove to Riverside, played catch, and then started the second game that we played. So there's some fun things that happen with it. But yeah, they're committed. You have to be really committed to both to be able to do both. It's time consuming, and, you have schoolwork to do and making sure your grades are up. So it can be a lot for people.
Well, I know that you always encourage, all the coaches at Yankton High School encourage, multiple sport athletes. I think that produces some of the best athletes there are. But I remember there was like a couple of years ago, right, where half the team basically was a dual sport athlete. So that was really interesting. I'm thinking like the Cody Oswald years and stuff. But it's nice you can have most of your team intact for the season.
Yeah, we did have a lot more in that year with Cody Oswald and Rugby Reichen and guys that were going back and forth. And it kind of fluctuates year to year as far as who's doing track and who's not. I anticipate that, like I said, that freshman group, I anticipate they'll continue to do track and baseball.
Sure.
So it'll be more of a scheduling thing if I'm the one doing the scheduling at that time. So we'll have to figure out who's going where and if we can get all our players there.
All right. Well, Coach, we really don't have too much X's and O's to go. We're only 3 games into the year and kind of getting things warmed up. So it'll do it for us for here the show. I'll use this for the pregame as well. Always appreciate you joining us here on the Pizza Ranch phone line, and we'll see you Sunday.
Yep. Thanks for having me, Russ.
Coach Drew Lawrence, Yankton Bucks baseball. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
You asked, and we listened. The Hy-Vee Market Grill is serving up a new menu full of everything you've been craving. Start your day right with our brioche French toast, plus a side of our favorite golden hash browns. Yes, that's right, they're back. Plus, add some bold flavor to your next meal with our Rise and Shine burger or a plate of wings. Whether you're looking for weekend brunch or an easy weeknight meal, stop by the Hy-Vee Market Grill to grab something tasty for the whole family.
Have aches and pains taken you out of your game? Sports injuries can happen quickly, posing threats to your health and ability to participate in your regular athletic activities. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson from First Chiropractic Centers. Chiropractic care can provide pain relief from sore and aching muscles and lead to faster recovery after workout by easing the inflammation you experience, like stiffness, pain, or restricted movement. Visit with us about managing your sports injuries. First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
When it's time to celebrate, Pizza Ranch is ready. This is Mike with the Yankton Pizza Ranch. We've got plenty of room and plenty of food on our buffet for everyone, loaded with pizzas, desserts, and the country's best chicken. Everyone leaves a winner, so make it a buffet day at Pizza Ranch of Yankton, available every day from 11 to 8.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
All right, that'll wrap it up for us here on the Coach's Corner today. Thanks to Coach Jeff Gross, Coach Drew Lawrence, Coach Jill Muth, and Coach Ryan Haig, all for joining us here on the Coach's Corner and being on the Pizza Ranch phone line. For legendary chicken and the best pizza, it's Yankton Pizza Ranch. It's on Broadway. You can call 665-1222. The Coach's Corner show has been powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. Thanks to all of our sponsors for making this broadcast possible and the coaches for joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line, but especially to you, the listener and viewer on KYNT and KYNTV, Yankton's home team and stream. Go Bucks, go Gazelles.